What's up, witches? I'm coming to you live from my living room. Woke up like this, no makeup, no nothing, just got home from work. But I really wanted to film a quick altar update video to share with you because I've done a little bit of redecorating to welcome in spring for my Freya altar. And there's Loki chiming in to the conversation down here. Yes, he's very chatty. Let me just take you on a quick tour of my Freya altar setup that I have right now, and then bonus content. I recently, within the last few, really the last month or so, finally decided that I needed to have an altar space for her brother Frey as well. For some reason, even though it's winter, I've been feeling his presence very strongly whenever it is sunny out here, and so I've just been feeling that type of Freyr energy more and more recently, and so I've decided that it was high time to welcome him into my home and just create a little space for him. So let me turn the camera around and just kind of show you what I have going on back here. All right, so here's my Freya altar right now. It's pretty much the same. I've just added a few things here and there to make it a little bit more spring-like. So I just have some fake roses. These were originally in my Yule tree. Seemed very Freya appropriate, and just an interesting, fun way to get some color and some spring into the winter decorations. So after I finally took down my Yule tree, I just on a whim decided to bring the flowers back here and put them around Freya. I actually was inspired a lot by Hindu rituals, because what you'll see a lot in Hindu practices is when you go to visit the statues or figurines of the gods and goddesses and, say your prayers, make your offerings. One of the things that they often do with their idols of the gods and goddesses is they will decorate them with flowers, fruit, perfume, and even clothing sometimes. Like they're treating it like it's a real living entity. It's almost imbued with a little bit of them and their presence. And the best analogy I can think of to explain it is it's kind of like the paintings in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, where they move and they're kind of alive, but they're not there all the time. Like sometimes the picture frames will be empty and they're off doing something else. I kind of view the statues and the idols on the altar in a similar way. Anytime you're in front of the altar, in front of the representation of your deity, they are also present with you in that moment through that image. That was a really rambly, not very good way of explaining the concept of Darsana, but kind of inspired by those Eastern traditions and what I saw them doing in their festivals and celebrations and rituals for their representations of deity. And I just thought, since we're finally past Imbolc and into the tail end of winter, which here where I am is the coldest, most miserable part of winter, I just really wanted to bring some beauty and life and summery spring vibes to Freya's altar. Fall and winter really set in and all the plant life died around me. I'm not really feeling her present just in the everyday environment as much as I was when summer was still in full swing. So a couple other new things that I've added. I have finally tried my hand at candle making. I just ordered a bunch of supplies off Amazon and made this little star-shaped candle with some flower, rose petals and some lavender in it. And I reused an old candle that I had been used up, and I melted it back down. Got a little seashell here, represent the Vanir. And then I had gone to the grocery store and thought maybe it would be nice to like pick up a bouquet to give to Freya, but then I saw this little succulent plant instead. I decided it might be better to give Freya a little living plant. I have a bit of a black thumb, so I hope it's able to stay alive. I don't get a lot of natural light back here in this room, but it's just a succulent, so hopefully he will make it. So yeah, those are really the only super new things I have going on up here. I'm just adding some plants and some florals and trying to get those spring and summer vibes in here and encourage it to arrive sooner rather than later. And then down here, I have the debut of my Freyr Altar. This drawing I actually got from an artist off of Etsy because I just felt like this drawing style, the artwork style, really matched well with my own drawing of Freya that I have up here. And real talk, I don't vibe very well with some of the more traditional depictions of Freyr, where you might see him with like that conical hat and the full like beard and mustache, and I'm probably gonna catch some flack for this, but to me, like, he looks more like a gnome in some of those representations, and you know, it's just not very sexy. And Freyr and Freya, they're the goddess of love. I don't know. I just wanted a depiction of Frey that was a little bit more youthful and a little bit hotter. Okay, better for him to just have his own space down here. He's still near his sister, and I can give him his own little separate offerings, because I haven't really been doing that yet. Sometimes I would find something and want to give it to Freyr, but I didn't really feel like just leaving it on the Freya altar and being like, hey, this is for your brother, pass it along. Pretty simple right now. I just have the artwork that I ordered, and then I also bought these two little figurines, and they came as part of a set. Frey here with his ship and his antler, looking like a little cutie. And then it also came with a Gullinbursty. And the third one is a little statue of Hel, which is in another room. Mostly I wanted the Freyr and Gullinbursty statues, so I just have them down here on a little shelf. This is another candle I made. It's a little walnut I gave them as an offering yesterday. And then, so this is another candle. It's not scented, it just has some orange slices from my tree decorations that I took down, and then some more lavender, a little shot glass here for his offerings, some more shells to represent Daddy Njord, and then a little fake plant. It's not real, but he needed some greenery here for the fertility god. And then this is interesting. This was originally a bottle of water I took from the Mississippi River when we did our little day hike last week. My husband and I went down to the river just to do a little hike while the sun was out and the temperature was above 30. So I brought some bottles with me. I gathered up some of the water, and I had brought this little blue stone. I don't know what type of stone it was, but it was just part of my collection. I had brought it with me and just put it in the bottle with the river water, and whatever type of stone this is, must be water soluble because it turned the water blue. But hey, magic. And then the other two things that I gathered from our hike were these stones that I took from near the river. I liked this one because it kind of looked like a crown shape to me. which reminded me of Vayner vibes because Njord is kind of a sea king. And then just a cool rock that I picked up from the ground. You know, you're not... If you like collecting shiny, cool rocks, you might be a pagan. And I just liked the different striations that this one had in it. You could tell it was kind of like different kinds of rock all pushed together in different layers, and then it's got that really thick band of very quartz heavy crystal in there, which I liked. So just my little souvenirs from our river adventure that I brought back. So yeah, I'm excited to work with him and Njord. Part of the reason I wanted to go to the river was to give my first big offering to Njord, which I thought that would be the best environment considering I'm landlocked everywhere else that I live. Just a little quick updated altar tour for you. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and I'll see you on the next one.